Peace, peace, peace. Welcome back to the Universal Temple for the Sun, Planet, Moon, and Stars. I'll be your Lord of Hosts, Lord Messiah. And today we're going to go back into, of course, as we always do, I'll be building on, international law and so forth. But today specifically, more so, like I said, we're going to go into, I had to let y'all get a shot of that. Oh, that Malcolm, you know what I'm saying? No, but yeah, we're gonna go back into today. We're gonna deal with plebiscites. What is a plebiscite? And like I was, brother was just breaking down. Plebe meaning the people, and cite meaning to vote. You know what I mean? So plebiscite meaning a vote of the people. And through plebiscites, I'm gonna pull this up here. Through plebiscites, you're able to affect local or even national politics, you know what I mean? Through way of a vote of the people. And the way they're expressing it is if like this is a way to kind of go straight from the government to the people or straight from the people to the government, more so than having to go through political parties and so forth and so forth. You know what I mean? You can kind of make like a direct statement or a direct request to, to the government. Like how they say they got the right to petition the government and all that. In the Constitution. So we're gonna go into this. All right, pardon me. I'm gonna pull this back up to what we was starting on before. Okay, here we go. Plebiscite. It says plebiscite, a vote by the people of an entire country or district to decide some issue. To decide on some issue such as choice of a ruler or government, option for independence, or annexation by another power, or a question of national policy. So annexation by another power would be like you acceding to a treaty or becoming part to another treaty, ratifying, signing on to another treaty, and annexing it to your declaration. And that would be you. That would be an annexing by another power, or a question of national policy. So, in other words, if you want to change national policies, if you want to declare independence, if you want to rule, decide a ruler or a government in a country or a district, it's done by way of a vote of the people. You know what I'm saying? So in a plebiscite, voters are asked not to choose between alternative regimes or proposals, but to confirm or reject the legitimacy of a certain form of government or course of action. So in other words, it's like saying like, it's not like it's a debate over, oh, we want to do this or we want to do that. It's more so like they already have their mind made up. They know what the collective agenda is. And it's more so like, okay, do we want to keep doing what we've been doing or do we want to try this, which is something new? You know what I mean? So like it says, so plebiscites are seen as a way for a government to go directly to the people, bypassing intermediaries such as political parties. So basically that's kind of a way of skipping over the Senate, skipping over the lobbyists and all of that want you to spend those millions of dollars that they could spread around Congress to get the favor, to get the vote in your favor through them. So that's how politics work. You know what I'm saying? When you and that's why we're trying to tell black people, we talk about laws and all of that, you gotta understand politics. Politics work by you greasing the palms of the politicians. That's how politics work. You know what I'm saying? So, like I always say, I give an example. You know, when the LGBT or whatever they call themselves, when they wanted their rights and all of that, they petitioned to Obama's campaign and they said, "Yo, listen, Obama, we got such millions of dollars. We're willing to put this up, and if you could, take this and spread this around Congress to get the vote in our favor, and when it comes time to vote and the vote goes through, yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? That's a good deal." So that's exactly how they do, basically. So as far as black people, we need to stop thinking that politics is based on morals and principles and righteousness. It's not. It's based upon money and influence. You know what I'm saying? That's just a fact. You know what I'm saying? Money, influence, and ultimately the control of the resources. You know what I mean? Because that's all countries go to war for. When America goes to war, it's to gain control of some kind of resource or something that they want to gain control, even if the resource is the people. You know what I'm saying? Because remember, black people are worth more than gold. Shit, what you think funded this country? Free labor of black people. So what the fuck? You know what I mean? So so when we understand that, then we'll go about politics in a whole nother mentality, so then we'll stop thinking that by us complaining and saying this ain't right and all of that as if something's going to change. Yeah, shit ain't going to change. They just going to be like, oh yeah, it's not right. Yeah, we know it's not right, but this is how we're winning. So, hey, it is what it is. That's just how it is. Move along. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, so after it says after the revolution of 1789, the plebiscite was popular in France because it was seen as an expression of popular sovereignty. In 1804, a plebiscite made Napoleon emperor. So Napoleon became the emperor of France in 1804 by way of a plebiscite. But it wasn't just a plebiscite. He also, was fucking spreading threat, duress, and coercion, you know what I'm saying, to the people, like, you gonna vote for me, goddammit. If you don't vote for me, goddammit, I'm running through with armies and all kind of shit. Like, so, same shit Bush will do. If you're not with us, you're with the terrorists and all that type of shit. They try to make this whole pick and choose a side type thing. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, let me not start rambling. Let me stick to the topic. So plebiscites have been used to establish political boundaries when it is a question of nationality. Now that was real deep. Plebiscites. Let me highlight this for y'all. Excuse me. Plebiscites have been used to establish political boundaries when it is a question of nationality. So it says, for example, in 1935, the Tsar chose to remain part of Germany rather than become part of France. So it chose its jurisdiction, basically, by way of plebiscite. So just like it says up here, how it says the vote of the people, a plebiscite, a vote by the people of an entire country or district, you know what I mean, to decide on some issue, such as choice of rule or government, option of independence, annexing by another power, or question of national policy. So if we want to deal with national policies or question the national policies or change the national policies or whatever the case may be, then people can do what's called a plebiscite. And like I said, being that we may not get the whole vote of everybody all over the country, You know what I'm saying? We may be able to get a district. So, for example, the brother, what's the brother's name? Malik. I think the brother named Malik, or the brother named Malik that got the that put in, and not only him, but some other brothers help as well. But he put in a lot of the footwork as far as going around and getting the actual signatures. I signed the thing myself when he did the signatures to get the law and justice 5% a square. You know what I mean? Up there as the name on the street sign. You know what I mean, in front of a law school. So he did that by way of a plebiscite, a vote of the people. Everybody that signed that petition, you know what I'm saying? That petition was actually a vote of the people. Like everybody in that district, or what we call the holy city of Mecca. See, and that's another thing too. Just as we got that street sign or that street corner name, put the street sign up there by way of a plebiscite, vote of the people, we could get the whole city of Harlem renamed the holy city of Mecca. And the gods and earth can initiate that. You know what I'm saying? And the Muslims, if they want to add on as well. You know what I'm saying? Because, it comes from the lessons, you know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? See, I'm just putting out these ideas out here, man. These are things that we can do. Like I said, we got a lot of people. We have a lot of work to do as a nation. So it's not like, I be hearing people say stuff like, yo, we good. Ain't nothing we got to do. We good. We sovereign. I'm like, okay. You know what I'm saying? It's like, really? Are we really? Okay. So anyway, so now I was saying, as far as now, it says with a country or district, right? You know what I'm saying, to decide the matters. So it says plebiscites have been used to establish political boundaries when it is a question of nationality. So, for example, if we, the nation, Allah's 5% nation, or as some say, nation of gods of earth, let's just stick with Allah's 5% nation, because the older gods, they get mad with that. Ain't no nation of gods of earth. Whatever. Allah's 5% nation. When it comes to nationality, you know what I mean? If that was our nationality, then therefore we can create a plebiscite where we all agree, we all sign, you know what I'm saying, and we get a good enough number of signatures for that district. Not every single person in the district has to agree, but at least a good majority of people, you know what I mean? And we could create a jurisdiction within, the space we call the holy city of Mecca, and make that a political jurisdiction for our nation. You know what I'm saying? So in other words, whenever we're traveling through that jurisdiction, we have immunities and protected rights, internationally protected rights. Look up 18 U.S. Code 112. 18 U.S. Code 112. 18 U.S. Code 112. Look it up and see what that's talking about when it talks about internationally protected peoples or persons, internationally protected persons, and what that entails. So once we get on that level, we'll become internationally protected persons, or at least, like I say, at least within that district, that we can come under international law even within that district. Even though it's a district and it may be considered under the state, we're coming with international law. And as long as in the agreement, within the plebiscite, the agreement is made that we're all coming under international law, then that's what it'll be. You know what I'm saying? Because once the plebiscite is approved and everything is official, it establishes the political boundary when it is a question of nationality. So therefore, as a nation, we will have a political boundary or political jurisdiction, an area where our political jurisdiction thrives. You know what I mean? So just putting the information out there. So it says, because a plebiscite offers a way of claiming a popular mandate without officially sanctioning an opposition, opposition party. Right. So in other words, just because you declared your nationality, your jurisdiction, that doesn't sanction you as an opposing party. You know what I'm saying? Or a totalitarian regime. You know what I'm saying? Also use the it says totalitarian regimes also use them to legitimize their power. Excuse me. So right. So it says totalitarian regimes also use them to legitimize their power. So when you got totalitarianism, like you got a dictator and it's like one ruler and it's under a total rule, you know what I'm saying? That was even done by way of plebiscite. But like I said, if they're totalitarian or a dictator type, you know what I'm saying, usually they're shrewd and all of that. So like I said, there's also maybe some threat, duress, and coercion also along with that, which made the people want to sign, you know what I'm saying? But we doing things by piece. And maybe that's why it's so hard to get people to come together and do things, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying it's right, but I can understand why they may have done what they had to do, you know what I'm saying? Like, listen, man, you ignorant motherfuckers ain't never gonna come together and get this shit together. We gotta fucking rule, because if not, these other motherfuckers are gonna come over here and rule. So listen, we need to just take charge over shit. The art of war, you know what I mean? And that's the science of what they've done to Black people, is they've made us so segregated, so separated with all these little different, groups and this and that and all that type of stuff, that this is why, it'll be so hard for us to so-called come together. So, like I say, me, myself, I don't, unless we get control of the media, the national media, we won't have the influence to influence the whole world at one time like that, because that's how they're influencing the whole world at one time, is through the media. They can say one thing on the news, the whole world hears it, and we think in our minds it becomes the conscious of the society because we heard it on the news. So if we could gain control of the news, the national media, then we'd be able to gain control of the minds of the people in a positive way to inform them of what they need to know, you know what I mean? Because, just doing our own little things from here. I mean, we got the social media and everything too, which is a good outlet too, you know what I mean? However, I don't know if there's a way on social media where you can take over the whole station and say, yo, I'm sending this out to everybody's page. Whoever's on live right now can all hear this, you know what I'm saying, type thing, you know what I mean? So, but a district, that could be done. Like I said, the brother Malik went around in the District of Harlem and he got the signatures, enough signatures up to get the street sign named after that. And in the Bronx, whoever petitioned, they got the name for Big Pun in over there on Grand Concord, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that was done. In Staten Island, Wu-Tang Clan. Wu-Tang got the Wu-Tang district. They got the Wu-Tang Clan street or whatever, Ave or whatever it is called. And they also renamed the whole district. The whole district in Shaolin is I think they call it Shaolin now, like officially. Like they renamed the whole district. Wu-Tang Clan put in work in Staten Island, like politically, and got the whole district named after Wu-Tang, after like Shaolin, you know what I'm saying? Like literally, officially. That's a fact. Look that up. You know what I'm saying? So I'm pretty sure, unless it was done through politics, like as far as the political party dealing with, political parties, it must have been, I wouldn't reject the fact that it was done through a plebiscite. You know what I'm saying? And they got the vote of the people. And Wu-Tang got mad influence in Staten Island. You know what I'm saying? Which they had already created a history and a legacy out there, renamed it Shaolin. Then after they did the physical work and the physical to physically make it known in the consciousness of the people. Then they went and took the political action to get it politically and officially established, like on the record type shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's the same thing we the gods can do for the holy city of Mecca and for Medina and for Pelon and for Oasis, or what they call the desert. We could do that, and Strong Island, Lord's Island, aka Love Islam. We could do that for all the boroughs, you know what I'm saying? All the districts, you know what I'm saying? If we start off as districts, you know what I'm saying? Do it for the districts. We could all do this, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, sometimes I've been thinking to myself, like, you know, I'll be like, man, some of this is just wishful thinking, because, you know, the people are never going to come together to get it done, you know what I mean? But like Tupac said, you know what I'm saying? I may not be the one to do it, but if I could plant the seed that'll spark the brain of the next person that'll be able to do it, you know what I'm saying? Then sure enough, you know what I'm saying? Then, you know, I'm not planting seeds for no reason. Eventually these seeds are gonna grow. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So, and that's what a farmer does, you know what I'm saying? A good farmer plants the seeds and allows them to grow, you know what I mean? Now, as far as my particular seeds, or me myself, of course, I'm going to put that particular sunlight and water on it because it's me and mine. But for the other people, you know, gotta let nature take its course. You know what I mean? So anyway, let's go into this. It says proportional representation, electoral system that seeks to create a representative body that reflects the overall distribution of the public support for each political party. Right. See, that was mad deep right there. Like I was saying before, it's not about like, you know, a debate or a vote. Oh, whose idea we want to go with, this or that. No, it's like a national consensus. You know what I'm saying, that they all agree on, and then they get the support from the public to push the political agenda. You know what I mean? So that's what they do to the people through the tell lie vision, where they tell lies to your vision. They don't even have to go around petition. I mean, the whole going around like they're doing campaigns of petition and all that, that's just the physical part in the act to make it seem like, yeah, we were out there petitioning. And shit is all regulated through the media and how they control the people's minds. And then they regulate the polls and the voting and all of that. So this shit is all rigged. You know what I mean? It's nice that part is all rigged. But however, if you're dealing with, so that's why I say it's going to be real hard to get something actually done through their political system that they have rigged. You know what I'm saying? So just know that there is a such thing as a plebiscite, when you want to skip over the politicians and go straight to the government and petition the government head on without dealing with the shiesty middlemen known as politicians. You know what I mean? You go straight to the government. You know what I mean? And now, do you remember in that video with those young 5%ers when they were saying, you know what I'm saying, the government is writing us act, you know what I'm saying, the government been doing everything they need to do, and we're gonna do what we need to do. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't necessarily agree with all of that, like the government being right and exact. You know what I mean? I mean, in a sense, you could see it as like, okay, if they doing what they doing as whatever, that's what they supposed to do. That's what they were meant to do. But we as God, we got to do what we got to do. And yeah, I can understand that sense, you know what I'm saying? But some people might misinterpret that as if like, you know, they was on some like, yo, the government is right and exact, like they righteous and do things exactly the way they're supposed to be. Nah. I don't see it like that. You know what I'm saying? Just give my interpretation on that. But however, like it says right here, proportional representation. So electoral systems that seek to create a representative body that reflects the overall distribution of the public support for each political party. See what I'm saying? So you know, you create the plebiscite, which will be like evidence that you have support from the public to support your political agenda. You know what I mean? Or what it is that you're trying to get done. So it says where majority or plurality systems effectively reward strong parties and penalizes weak ones by providing the providing the representation of a whole constituency to a single candidate. Exactly right. You know what I'm saying? Who have received fewer than half of the votes or cast, as it is the case, for example, in the United States. Exactly. Joe Biden cheating in the elections, you know what I'm saying? So exactly. So basically, instead of us going to vote and in the so-called system, the political system or whatever, and vote that way, and then they finagling, they cheating on the votes and all of that, and a person could have got way less votes, but they still gonna pick who they want it to be. You know what I'm saying? So you really don't got no real wins that way. You know what I'm saying? And how do they technically do that? It's through what's called electoral colleges. You know what I'm saying? So in other words, the public vote, they make their vote, but then you also have what's called electoral colleges where, you know what I'm saying, they make a vote over the public vote. It's like a private vote, basically, which overrides the public vote. And see, in reality of that is because these politicians actually work for, or the whole government actually is funded and works for private corporations. So even though these private corporations may perform public services, so it makes it seem like the government is working for the public. No, they're working for the private corporations, in which allow these public corporations to exist, you know what I mean, and do what they do in the public or whatever, you know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? And then when it comes to the stock market and all that, all they do is they just take money from here, put it there, take $1 million from Walmart, put it in McDonald's, take $1 billion from McDonald's, put it in Home Depot, take that from there. They just shift around and finagle around money to where they see it needs to be to fit their needs at the time. And that's all the stock market is. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it's a risky game, some get in, get out type stuff. Because, when it's good, you good. But then that shit could drop tomorrow because they just shift everything from here and shifted it over there. And now all your shit is gone. So it's like a get in, get out type thing. You know what I mean? So anyway. So, yeah, like I said, I ain't going to go too long on that. So I just want to really go into the science of plebiscite, and being that you understand the science of like how they do with their proportional representation in their electoral systems, you might want to, we might want to more so look at, when it comes to politics or whatever, a plebiscite. And once again, a plebiscite is a vote of the people of an entire country or district to decide on some issue, some such as choice of a ruler of government, option for independence, or annexing by another power, or a question of national policy. So, just even as far as us declaring our nationality, even though we have done through publication and so forth and this, that, and the third, you know what? No, yeah, that is a good idea. That is a something I just realized as well. The 5% newspaper has been around for years. So we are publicly known on the record through publication, through our nation's newspaper. You know what I'm saying? So facts, we have made that publication known, you know what I mean, for years, as far as the documentation. But now, as far as like I say, the political actions that we can carry out as a nation, such as like I was speaking about, the acquiring of land, the declaring the political jurisdiction, multiple other things, creating the universal treaty of peace that we could present to other nations and have them accede to our treaty, which will mean they will come under or agree to our law and bylaws. You know what I mean? So all these things we can do, you know what I mean? So listen, I'm gonna see y'all in the next session, you know what I mean? Like I said, I don't wanna drag this out too long, probably going on maybe 40 minutes now. But so anyway, it's all good. So like I say, I'll see y'all back in the building next time, and we're gonna come back in. Oh, you know what? I forgot to do the other day. We're gonna build on what's called the revocation of election. You know what? This is good that I brought this up too, because this ties in too. I was supposed to do a breakdown on the revocation of election. revocation of election is dealing with the fact of how we basically not like how you say expatriate ourselves, but terminate ourselves from the whole tax fraud and voluntary coercion. You know what I'm saying? Because basically you don't have to pay taxes, but how do you actually put that on the record? And I'm not talking about no, I'm not talking about the CMB AA122, that number and all of that. I'm not talking about that. This is about a revocation of election and how you basically tell them, like, I'm renouncing the whole fact of participating in the whole tax system and the fraud and all this and the third. And they give you, this is done by them. They give you the codes and all that. Anyway, see me on the next video, y'all. I'm gonna break all of that down. Peace.